Righty, can I see the hands of those of you who know Canva? You know how to use Canva? Raise a hand. Okay, Deanna, Jess, Barbara, Alexis. So it looks like half of you do and half of you don't. All right. Okay, that gives me something to go on. Thank you.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
I just want to see people's hands who know how to use Canva.
Oh, I do.
Okay. All right. So of those of you who know how to use it, how many of you have Canva for nonprofits? Okay. Okay. So only
Pro.
two. Nonprofit. Well, you can, yeah. Nonprofits can get Nonprofit Pro for free.
Oh, really? I need to look into that thing because
Yeah. It costs enough, doesn't it? And then I read where the way I interpret it, you don't necessarily have to be a nonprofit, but if you're a social enterprise, you can get it, but you have to demonstrate, I guess, in your organizing document, so I guess if you're an LLC, whatever those papers are you use to start, or, your incorporation papers, you have to indicate somewhere in your mission statement that you are looking to impact the environment, impact people. And there was one other criteria. Okay, so that's something everybody should be looking into. I mean, why pay if you don't have to? All righty, so we're gonna get started. Before we get started, let's go around, so to speak, go around the room and introduce ourselves. I don't believe we all know each other. And when you do introduce yourselves, at least for the period that you're saying hello and introducing yourself, can you show your face so if we see you on the street, we'll know who you are and all of that good stuff. So, Deanna, we will start with you. Deanna?
Can you hear me, Valerie?
All right. Alexis. Okay. Oh, Deanna, you're on. You're on mute.
Sorry. Took me a minute to get off, and I'm trying to lower my hand and all of that kind of stuff. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deanna Hart. I am the owner and founder of D Hart Enterprises, where we seek to help women of color who are in leadership or emerging leaders within the nonprofit sector to own their power and lead in their greatness. And so I have been doing work on the West Side for the last 9 going on 10 years. And that is who I am, and that's where I come from.
All righty. Awesome. Awesome. Antoinette.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good
Can you hear me?
afternoon. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
I'm Antoinette Ratliff, co-founder and co-director of Celestial Ministries, where we support children of the incarcerated as well as single-parent homes, rather, through our music program, through music programs and other initiatives that we have as well. Sorry.
Okay. Awesome.
Someone was detected at your front door camera.
Yeah. Sharon?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me see. You said you wanted me on camera. Make sure I can.
Yeah, so we know who you are when we see you on the street.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharon Hartshorn. and I am a board member of the South Austin Neighborhood Association. And we've been tasked with managing the 29th Ward Veterans Peace Garden. And we're also a member of the Austin Garden Collective, which is a group of gardens in the South Austin community.
Awesome. So for a garden walk every year?
Yes, it is part. It's actually is one of the highlights of the garden walk in South Austin. Those walks were usually initiated by Tina Augustus, who her gardens are also part of the Austin Garden Collective. And this year we were highlighted with Crystal Dyers. She had a trolley going through the South Austin community and visiting various gardens. And so we were highlighted in that area as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, I'm sorry. I just have a special space in my heart for gardens. Alexis. Okay, Alexis Reed going once. Alexis Reed going twice. All right, we'll come back to Alexis. Barbara.
Good afternoon. Let's see. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Barbara Deer, and I'm the Executive Director of Juneteenth, Illinois. And basically what we do is we provide scholarships and mentoring to college students. And we also provide education in the areas of health, wealth, and justice.
Okay, and while I am thinking about it, if you so choose, please, everyone, post your name and contact information in the chat so that, we can continue to network between meetings. All righty, Willie Cole. You're on mute.
Willie Cole, South Side of Chicago, working with nonprofit Stars Tutoring, where the program Stars Tutoring with my church, consultant writer.
Okay, awesome. Jess?
Hi, Jess Larson, Senior Manager at Girls in the Game. Where our offices are in Douglas Park in North Lawndale, but we provide programming citywide.
Okay, and we will be hearing more from Jess later on. She's got some really great stuff to share. Audrey. You're on mute.
Mute still. Hey, it's Audrey. I'm in North Lawndale and I have a fashion business.
Be odd. Be odd.
That's the name of it.
Okay. Juan.
Hi, my name is Juan Ignacio Chirinos. I am a board member of Gift from Liam. I'm here in Chicago.
Awesome.
I'm in Lakeshore East, so I'm very excited. Anna shared with me this opportunity. I was not going to be able to attend because it was in person, but I was able to make it today because it was remotely, so even perfect. So thank you for that.
Okay, awesome. You probably never been so glad to have bad weather, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It actually made it perfect for me. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yes, it's great to meet you. Thank you. And tell Anna hello. All righty, Christy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christy Smith-Hall. I'm the Development Director of Deborah's Place, and I am also contract development writer, a grants writer for Bronzeville Trail Task Force.
Awesome. And again, Christy is going to have some wonderful stuff to share from real live experience. All right. And Ruby.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ruby Taylor, Executive Director of Taproot Incorporated.
Can you share your face while you're speaking, please? And Juan, I forgot to ask you.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, just, hey, thank you.
Okay.
Just so we know.
Okay. Sometimes my if I have the video on, my volume, something messes up with my volume. So anyway, Ruby Taylor from Taproot Inc. We have locations both in East Garfield Park and the Austin West Side communities. I am also a resident, a lifelong resident of East Garfield Park. Our organization is a delegate agency with the Chicago Department of Public Health. So we are promoting the use of restorative justices as a way of building relationships and preventing violence in the Austin, East and West Garfield Park communities and other communities as well. But those are our primary communities. And we run 3 after-school matters programs, and we provide parenting education workshops.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks everybody for being here. And again, before we get started, brief commercial. Some of you are part of our program Capacity Building for Community Healers. And we're going to be doing a second, I guess, set of cohorts for that program starting in January. Currently, our fall cohort is for organizations in Austin, East and West Garfield, North Lawndale, and Inglewood. I believe those are the communities that we're serving. Every week we have workshops on a new topic that helps us to develop capacity. And if you are interested in joining our next cohort, let me know. We're going to also have graduation on December 28th. You are welcome, if you're not a part of the program, you're welcome to come to the graduation and check us out. Our graduates are going to have some wonderful stories to share, and I think it'll be a great opportunity for networking further. All righty, so enough of the commercials. I think I got everybody. Alexis?
Yes.
Okay, and if you can share your face as you're introducing yourself. Oh, no wonder.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry. I'm doing pickup today.
And public safety is a thing, isn't it?
I had to park. I finally got here. Let me turn this off. Hi, everybody. My name is Alexis Reed. I'm the founder and president of the Powerhouse Foundation. We simply create opportunities for sustainable development, as well as we create connections for stronger communities, stronger families, and intergenerational development.
Awesome. I think we got a really good group here, nice and diverse in terms of communities we serve, in terms of what we do and all of that good stuff. The way this is going to be structured, as I indicated in my email, I'll give a brief overview of Giving Tuesday, just so we're all kind of on the same page. I know we all have different experiences with it, but after I share, that brief presentation, I'm going to turn it over to Christy and Jess. Christy and Jess, they have, hands-on experience, not only running Giving Tuesday campaigns, but, campaigns of all sorts, all year round. So it'll be really interesting to hear from the perspective of people who are actually doing the work every day. And then after that, if you so desire, and I would hope as many of you as possible can, but I truly understand it's hard to get 3 hours of time, especially right before a holiday. So I understand if you have to jump off, but we really would like to help you pull together, if you haven't started, your campaign for Giving Tuesday using some of your assets like, pictures and other visuals, and help you do them on Canva. So that's why I asked, how many people, had used Canva, how many people had nonprofit in Canva. All right, so the less I introduce what we're about, the more time we have for the stuff that really, really counts. So I'm going to share my screen and again, do a brief presentation, and then we'll go from there. All right, can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to minimize us so I can be a little bit more focused. And we realized that, I can't believe next week is Black Friday, all right? So we have very, very limited time to start our Giving Tuesday campaigns for those of us who are just starting. And then for those of us who are kind of in the middle of it or somewhere, beyond the start, I think this will be a great time for you to hear what other folks are doing. And if there's something that we can share to help you tighten up your efforts, that would be great as well. And then for those of you who have not started, don't fret. Giving Tuesday is really, it's just one day out of the year. Every day we need to be engaging in fundraising. All right. So you can use Giving Tuesday instead of this being like your end of the year's activity. This could be really a kickoff, for the next year. All right. So it's all a matter of perspective. You're not too late to the game. The important thing is not so much Giving Tuesday, but the skills and lessons learned, for peer-to-peer fundraising, online fundraising, and all of that good stuff. So with that being said, I want to talk about what Giving Tuesday is. Giving Tuesday was started off by the 92nd Street Y and the United Nations Foundation back in 2012. And basically, they thought it would be a great idea to take advantage of some of the energy that we get, one, from the end of the year, two, from the fact that we just had Black Friday and then Cyber Monday. Why not use some of that energy to give to nonprofits? So they started off as a national, day of giving, and now it has branched off to an international day of giving. So this year, Giving Tuesday is December 3rd, which is right around the corner. And we're going to share some things of what you should be doing from now until Giving Tuesday. Some of these things may be a little bit unrealistic, given the fact that Giving Tuesday is a little bit more than a week from now, right? So we're going to get as much of this done between now and Giving Tuesday. But then again, try not to think of Giving Tuesday as the end. It's just one point in time in the year. And for those of you who have not been doing online fundraising, think of this as kind of your kickoff. All right. So one thing that they used to do in the past is sign up for Giving Tuesday. You don't necessarily have to register for Giving Tuesday, in state of Illinois as well as nationally. They used to do registrations. What they have now is an opportunity for you to, sign up for their mailing list, and you can get a lot of really, really good information, good resources all year round on, just online campaigns. So I think we kind of know it's obvious that we should always start with the goal, and your goal doesn't necessarily have to be limited to fundraising. It could be friend raising too. So how much money do you want to raise? Do you want to recruit more volunteers? Do you want to get more social media followers? And then at some point, convert them into donors or volunteers? Do you want to raise obviously more money for the Giving Tuesday campaign, but is there some other campaign that you might want to look at? Is there some other objective from a marketing standpoint that you might have? Do you want to raise awareness, just for your organization in general? Because this is a very competitive time. If everybody around the world is, putting their hand out, try to figure out ways you can stand out. And we will hear from Jess and Christy some of the strategies that they've used. So after you set your goal, you want to email folks and let them know that, hey, I'm here, we're here. You can give to us, right? And then for people who are going to be in your inner core, and obviously you want to contact them before you contact other people, know that you're here. Just have a planning meeting to coordinate what you're going to be doing. So you're going to obviously announce your plan. And again, before you announce, at least, put some thought into, some of the themes that you're going to be promoting, right? Think about what it is you want to accomplish, right? So you want to share your plan and goal in a press release. So if you have a community newspaper, and I know in North Lawndale, we have North Lawndale Community News. Austin has at least 2 newspapers, the Austin Weekly News and the Austin Voice. And for people on the South Side, I'm not quite sure, what the community newspapers are, but you're more likely to get traction in a community newspaper, community blog, than you are for, say, the Sun-Times, because you want to make sure that whatever your messages are relevant to the people that they serve. And the larger a market is, the harder it is for people running stories to consider what you're doing is relevant. And I'm not saying that you can't get into, say the Sun-Times or the Tribune, but you really have to have a hook that's beyond, oh, this is Giving Tuesday, right? You really have to be able to draw people into the work that you do. And on that note, I'm going to ask if there's anybody, who has experience getting into the newspaper. It's really hard, I think, to get your fundraising stuff in the newspaper. And if you had experience getting your fundraising stuff or your cause into the newspaper, what were some of the things, some of the strategies you used? And I can't see anyone, so feel free to just say what you need to say if you've had experience getting your cause into the local newspaper.
Hey everyone, this is Christy. So we have never, I guess, organically gotten our message at Deborah's Place into the newspaper. We do pay for an advertisement with, what is it? Like the Oak Park local West Side newspaper, where it goes into like several of the ones in the, in Austin and in the suburbs that are nearby. My first year here, we paid for that, and luckily we were actually picked up by a PR distribution, and they put it out to other platforms, and we wound up raising the most money. We doubled the amount of money during our end of year appeal than we had the previous years, and that says a lot because that was in December 2022, and the previous years had been all like COVID money where people were really big on giving to the homeless, and we still doubled the amount of money because it was picked up by this PR firm.
Excellent, excellent. Is there anyone else who wanted to share?
I can share a little bit. We've had some luck primarily with the Chicago Sun-Times. We've gotten a couple of our staff people covered occasionally for work they do at Girls in the Game and then in the community as a whole. Then we've also gotten letters to the editor in, which is a good way. You're not usually making a direct fundraising appeal in those, but it is a good way to get your cause out. And then we have a gala every year, and we have champions that we honor at that gala, many of whom are local Chicagoans. So we honored a WGN reporter there, and then she was able to get us on WGN as a highlight.
Wow.
And that was not an ask that we made when we were honoring her, but it just ended up happening organically because of that relationship that we had built.
Those are both great examples, because I mean, I'm just listening to the way you started. Who would think that either of those campaigns would grow and have the impact that they did? So thank you both for sharing. Is there anyone else? All righty. So obviously you want to build on the momentum that you have already gained. And to me, the best way to build momentum is to start, right? And you just keep moving, right? The easiest way to break momentum is to stop moving. So you keep going, you celebrate the small wins, no matter how small, and you definitely want to celebrate the big wins, right? So another strategy is to get supporters to share their own video testimonials. They could do it on the phone, or any other recording device that they have. And I know Christy shared some pointers. She shared one of her strategies, and I believe, Christy, am I right that you were working with your board members to try to get them to get video testimonials?
Sort of. This year we didn't do video, but we do work with our board members to get their testimonial.
Okay, awesome. So again, Giving Tuesday, they have lots of graphics that you can use, one of which is a save the date, and they also shared some sample social media posts. I can make sure that you guys get a copy, of the workbook. They did a workbook a couple years ago. I don't know if they still do the workbook, but I think the workbook is still very, very helpful. So I'll make sure that people who are on this call get a copy of the workbook, at least the link to it. So obviously you want to leverage your network. And in many cases, we don't realize how networked we are until we start literally making a list of the people we know who might care about our cause. If they don't care about our organization, they might at least care about our cause. If they don't care about our cause, they might care about the people in our organization. Just as you're doing your networking, right? You create these little diagrams to show how many people you know in which arena, and before you know it, you could easily by yourself come up with a list of over 100 people, and just multiply that by the number of people in your organization, board members doing that, employees doing that, right? Satisfied clients doing that, other influencers doing that kind of thing, and you have a ripple effect. You have an exponential effect, and then you might get lucky, like Christy and Jess, right? You just never know how organic growth can turn into exponential growth. So obviously you want to email your supporters again and remind them that Giving Tuesday is coming around, and then let people know specifically how they can get involved. You want to have a specific call to action. Pitch your local press, email a calendar invite to everybody on your list. And once you have your list segmented, right? And when we say segmented, we're talking about segmenting people by the category of stakeholder they represent, right? Are these people clients? Are they board members? Are they employees? Are they elected officials? And the reason why you want to segment it is because while some messages or some approaches might resonate with one group, they might serve to alienate another group. And you don't want to send out an email blast to get a whole bunch of people, disconnecting with you because they don't relate to that type of message. All right. Obviously, you want to leverage social media, right? December 2nd, you want to send a 1 day to go email. So that'll be the email, that'll be social media messages, post something on your website. And I don't know, there are people who might do blast texting. I'm not quite sure what they call it, SMS messaging, whatever. So whatever ways you have at your disposal to communicate with people, and it doesn't matter if people get messages, from different channels, right? As long as they get the message. On December 3rd, that's going to be Giving Tuesday. That's the day that you're going live. So one suggestion here, and this is from the Giving Tuesday Complete Nonprofit Toolkit. In fact, all of these slides are based on that toolkit, which I will be passing out. So on December 3rd, you want to go live, share a picture every hour. So go into your files. I'm sure you guys have been taking pictures of events, of meetings, of sessions, workshops, special events. Go through those photos and share some of those, give some highlights for the year, give a reason for people to give, show the work that you're doing, show the accomplishments, show the network with whom you're connecting, all that good stuff. If you're on TikTok, you might consider launching a TikTok challenge. Highlight the stories of generosity from your community. Again, you want to talk about how other people from your community are getting involved in your cause, right? And then we're still reeling from COVID-19. Talk about how that's still impacting your organization, but not only how it's impacting, but how are you making the pivots? So how has the way you've given service changed? How have you been able to actually make lemonade out of the lemons? Are you actually working more efficiently? I hear that some organizations are actually working more efficiently because COVID has forced them to look at new ways to deliver service, look at new technologies with which to serve people. All right, so you want to get clients and board members and staff and supporters to share videos, share photos. So on December 3rd, you want to thank your staff, donors, volunteers, partners, faculty, and the community. And then you want to have a thank you Wednesday. So you're getting prepared for Thank You Wednesday. You want to email Giving Tuesday team at info@givingtuesday.org with your success, photos, or announcements that they can share. And again, you never know who's looking at those pictures. You might attract some funding that way. If you are, if you have a, oh my goodness, what am I thinking? Okay, Candid, if you have a profile with Candid for your nonprofit, and assuming that you have gone through, I'm not quite sure which level at which you begin to, or they allow you to post pictures. I don't know if you can do that at the bronze level, or if you have to be at a certain level where you can start sharing pictures, sharing videos. If you're at that level where they allow you to share pictures and videos on your profile, then by all means, share those pictures from Giving Tuesday and other events from the year. And then you use that momentum to not only rally support for your mission, but again, if you're just starting today, then look at Giving Tuesday as your kickoff, for the year end drive. You got 5 weeks from now to the end of the year to get her done, right? For Christmas and year end. But you can also start to pivot your messages for, getting ready for the next year. All right. So that's what you do the day after Giving Tuesday on the 4th. Compliance. I always have to plug compliance because it's been my experience. I don't care what I'm working on with people, all roads lead to compliance. You want to make sure that your filings for Form 990 are up to date, as well as your state AG 990. And then here are some sample messages. You know, here's one. Mark your calendar. December 3rd is Giving Tuesday. How will you give? Another sample is save the date. Giving Tuesday is December 3rd. We're proud to be a part of this global celebration of giving. And you could tailor these too, you know, to fit your particular organization or situation. Giving back isn't canceled ahead of Giving Tuesday. This will be December 3rd. We're sharing ways you can express generosity right from your own home. At this point, you can, you know, tailor it to insert ideas for how folks can get involved in your mission or help move the needle on your cause right from their own homes. All right, so check out the Giving Tuesday Complete Toolkit for Nonprofits. Look at the sample media messages, look at the sample press releases and the suggested calendar. And you're going to be focusing at this point on the last, you know, 1 to 2 weeks of your Giving Tuesday campaign. Okay, so how do you develop and implement your Giving Tuesday campaign? Obviously, you start with a goal. You also look at who your targets could be. So you might have a dollar amount. You might want to target, you know, which young donors, how much money do we want to get from them? How many people do we want to get participating in this drive? How many volunteers do we want to recruit? How many new donors? How many donors do we want to reactivate? How many monthly donors? How many collaborations? If you're having different activities, you know, what's the attendance like? You might have goals around the number of people attending, the number of social followers you want to add, the number of thank yous. You know, some folks, you know, will settle for likes and shares. All right, so again, I'm going to give you this workbook. The goal is not necessarily to focus on filling out the workbook stuff here, but, you know, once we're done with, you know, presentation stuff, we did want to help you with your Canva information. All right, so you want to look at, you know, what your goals are, how many, what events, and then you want to develop a timeline. So this is just an example of a timeline. You know, obviously you want to start with a team, set a kickoff meeting date, agree on a goal. You know, so they broke out all the activities they need to engage in. And I believe this is probably a 3 to 6 month plan. You have, you know, if you haven't started, you have a good 10 days, something to that effect, right? So you need to figure out, how do you get the biggest bang for the buck, but you still need to be strategic in your thinking. You're still going to need to get goals and objectives, get a team, have a message that resonates and is consistent. So who's going to be on your team? You can have several teams, staff and board, givers and volunteers, amplifiers or influencers, community partners, and that could be small businesses, PR and marketing. And then you want to focus obviously on your brand. So what are some of the brands, or what is your brand, and how do you pull that out in your campaign, right? So write down ideas for a campaign name. Think about the visuals. It could be pictures. It could be infographics. It could be videos. Think of a tagline that'll really stand out. And then think about those things that will be evergreen, right? You want to have life beyond Giving Tuesday. All right. So make Giving Tuesday your own. Think of a brand name, a logo, tagline that's going to unify your campaign, but you also want to make sure not only is it unifying your campaign, but you want to make sure that it solidifies your brand. So think of, an iconic story of a client, a staff person, or volunteer. You might include supporting data. You might incorporate a matching challenge. You might tie your Giving Tuesday to a year-end appeal. And in our case, if you're just starting, you might want to leverage it for, going into the next year. And then develop at least 3 different stories that are complementary to your overall messaging. So when we speak of visual assets, we're looking at photographs of people in action, people saying thank you. Again, it could be infographics or whatever, but you really, really want to focus on those pictures and visuals that will really support your cause and your statements. All right, so when you make an inspiring ask, you want to use the belief statement plus the you statement plus an opportunity statement to pull a compelling call to action together. So in this example, a school is raising funds to build a food pantry for students. The campaign will begin with the story of a student who was hungry. And then, and that's a segue to, we just started, well, not just started, we just had a few conversations on our program logic model. So think about some of the stories that you began to tell as a direct result of going through that program logic model exercise. So again, this one example, the student was hungry until there was some intervention on behalf of this organization. Well, because of this organization. So they start with a belief statement. We believe that no student should have to choose between food and learning. The you statement, you can help us stock the pantry so that no CCBC student has to make the choice to go hungry. The opportunity statement, are you with us? All right. So you want to identify your campaign ambassadors, and your ambassadors can be at different levels because why? You are attracting people at different levels, different types of people like you, know, like, and trust you. You got board members and their networks. You've got staff, you've got clients, you've got people in the community, you got your partners, all right? So you want to identify spokespeople that represent different segments of the community, right? And they're known, they're liked, they're liked, they're liked and trusted. You don't want to get people who are just liked. Sometimes people can be smooth talkers, but they can't be trusted. So you have to have that know, like, and trust factor with your ambassadors so that when they go forth armed with the consistent message that you want to be pounded through and through, then you will increase your chances of success. You want to engage ambassadors by setting aside a day to reach out and then host an ambassador kickoff. It may be a little, tight for that if you're just getting started, but to the extent that you can, anybody that you're asking to be an ambassador, if you can't have this one meeting, that everybody can attend, at least have a one-on-one, have some sort of cheat sheet. And I'm sure Christy and Jess, they're going to have some other things that they can share. You want to resource ambassadors with engaging, easy to share content on a consistent schedule. And I know Christy has done some of that based on our conversations, and she will be sharing some strategies very, very shortly. And this screenshot was taken from Step by Step Giving Tuesday worksheet on, this is page 12. So basically you're brainstorming here around who your ambassadors can be, right? So who's going to be responsible for creating the content that's going to help your ambassadors go forth and, you know, and share the message and go and ask, right? So put yourself in your donor's shoes. Start with an email or social, right? You want to click to the website, make an online gift, and review the thank yous. So basically what you're doing here is you are going through that whole donor experience to see what it is they're experiencing. There may be some glitches in the system. Your website might be taking too long to load, or the page that you thought would come up where, you know, they'll be asking for payment. Maybe that was never connected to the whole system, right? So make sure you have all of that stuff in place, know that it's working before you send out emails sending people to that site. All right. And again, look at your technology, look at your website or websites. You know, some organizations have more than one. Look at your online giving sites. Look at your marketing, outreach, and social channels. And if there's anything, you know, that needs to be fixed, you know, for example, if you haven't posted in 6 months, make sure that you get some people to start posting so that when you drive people to that site, then, you know, people are coming into something that's lively and not dead. Same with your website. If you haven't posted a blog in several months, make sure you post, you know, 2 or 3 blogs so that it looks current, right? Even if you have to create news, right? I'm not saying lie, but you know, you got to make sure that you're sending people to live sites. All right, you can gamify your Giving Tuesday, and basically creating contests and competitions and giving awards. All right. So here is a sample matching gift worksheet. You'll find that in the workbook that I'm going to share with you. You know, I had you register so I can send you the email, send you this link in the email. And it's also in the online community for those of you who are members of nonprofit Utopia. So here you want to list people that might consider matching, you know, dollars that you raise through Giving Tuesday. And then here is a sample challenge worksheet, right? So think of, you know, what the contest could be, and you list them here. And then after that, you develop your 4-week communication strategy. Now, clearly your 4 weeks communication strategy is going to go beyond, is going to go beyond Giving Tuesday. And in the workbook, it's going to say a 6-week communication strategy. All right, because they're assuming that they had, you know, 6 months to a year to prepare. Realistically, many of us are starting just now, and we got a good 4 weeks to communicate for the year end. And Giving Tuesday is just, you know, one of those themes. All right, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Are there any questions before I turn it over to Christy? And then after Christy, we'll hear from Jess.
Valerie, this is Sharon. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
you mentioned thanking the info at givingtuesday.com. Now, so they're an actual there's an actual organization called Giving Tuesday. What do they provide?
They provide technical support on Giving Tuesday kinds of things. They started off This started off as an initiative of the 92nd Street Y in New York in conjunction with United Nations, right? So they had a day of giving that started off as a national thing, and now it's international. And that little department called Giving Tuesday, you know, that department that handled all of these events around Giving Tuesday, they are now their own separate 501c3. Bear with me. Let me see if I can find their website. They have a whole bunch of resources, and they have gone beyond Giving Tuesday.
So what do you do? You go to their website and sign up or something, or?
Yeah, you can sign up to get emails. Yeah, they call themselves a global generosity movement. Hold. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see. And every time I go, I end up in going down a rabbit hole. That's just my nature, because I like to know stuff. I click on one thing and I find out something, then I go to the next, to the next, to the next. All right. So here is their website, givingtuesday.org. See, they're their own separate organization. And you see they have giving every Tuesday now. So they're not limiting themselves to just focusing on one day of the year. You know, what if every Tuesday was Giving Tuesday? So they give you some ideas as to, you know, how you can manage, you know, your Giving Tuesdays, or manage your giving via social media all throughout the year. So they got events, they got a blog, they tell you how to participate. You know, they have instructions, you know, if you're a nonprofit who's trying to get this thing off the ground. They have ideas for volunteers, you know, if they want to do a day of service. They've got ideas for small businesses if they want to get involved, and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to post this in chat, and feel free to copy it and visit. What, did that help you at all, Sharon?
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. I'm trying to make my way back to y'all. What the heck is happening? I'm trying to get back to Zoom so that I can stop sharing.
Valerie, that
All
happens
right.
to me a lot. Usually you can click your green button to minimize the screen that you're on and you'll see us.
Okay, got it. I felt so separated. Like, where they at? Okay, so I'm back and I stopped sharing. All right. Are there any more questions before I turn it over? Turn it over to the experts, starting with Christy. Okay.
All right, everyone. Valerie, am I able to share my screen? Okay.
You are. You got a new hairdo, don't you? I like
I
it.
just got it up. Just got it up. All right. Can you all see an Excel sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to share this with you all. This is for Deborah's Place. As I said, I am the development director of Deborah's Place. And so this is our end of year giving campaign, Operation Get Money form that we use every year. This is my 3rd year of giving here at Deborah's Place. And so this kind of like lists out some of the expectations that we have every year. I will say that not every year is all of this done. The very first year that I was here, I had to cut some of these things out because I did not have a communications coordinator. So I do have staff on my team and I have a communications coordinator. But when my first year, I lost my communications coordinator, and so it was just me. So I had to do the things that I thought was going to leverage the most money and make the most sense for the time that I had to give in addition to my other roles. But as an example, this is our chart. And so underneath the months that you see here, we have the activities that need to happen during that month. And then next over is the due date that we have. And then after that, you'll see the RACI chart that I love to use, which means responsible, accountable, consult, and inform. And so these letters that you see underneath the RACI chart, the responsible, that's my communications coordinator's initials, Erin Ellis. I'm CS, I'm accountable for all of this. So usually I'm accountable for every single thing. And then consult, this is for the program staff. And then this inform is our senior leadership team. So when I meet monthly, I fill them in on what we're doing and how that's progressing. So as you'll see in July, we start with, so first of all, this isn't just Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday for us is a part of our end of year campaign. And so I'll mostly focus on all of the Giving Tuesday stuff, but in here you'll see a lot of the things that we do. So twice a year we do a paper newsletter because we have a bunch of donors, well, not a bunch, but we have donors that give big to us that ask not to be emailed or not to be called. And so we still want to connect with them. So we send out a paper newsletter. And so our paper newsletter goes out in October, but in July, we're preparing the topics of what we're going to start sharing with them so that we can make sure that we have that information. And so that kind of kicks off. In August, with Giving Tuesday,
Christy.
we select the theme that we're going to use for Giving Tuesday. And then once we have some ideas or an idea on why we think it's good, and that's usually just me and the communications coordinator, we bring it to the development team and they will help us to refine it. When we have our monthly development meeting, they'll help us to refine it. And then we identify the people that we may need to interview or whatever it is that we need for Giving Tuesday, if there's anything that we need to do for that. And that's in August when we're identifying who we need to speak to. Sharon, you have a question?
Yeah, is it possible to make the chart a little bit bigger?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, okay, great, excellent.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Okay. Right, so this is in August where we are selecting a theme, brainstorming with the team to help us refine it for Giving Tuesday. And then, like I said, this is a part of our end of year, so you'll see other items on this list for August that we do outside of just for Giving Tuesday. So once we've had that meeting with staff and they kind of help us to refine it and we're feeling confident about what we chose and how it's going to go, we move into September. And this year we had, just like last year also, we had our board members to be the focus of our Giving Tuesday. So our Giving Tuesday is actually more of a cultural slang theme that we did this year, and I'll show it to you. It's called It's Giving, because a lot of people say, it's giving, kind of, whatever. And so we decided to kind of go with that, but and I'll show you that later. So we had our board members to do their part in it. And so one thing that we know is that our board members are unfortunately very inactive with us. It takes a lot of prodding to get them to be involved. And so in September, I knew that we were having an in-person board meeting. So our communications coordinator created a form so that we can get them to fill it out and do the thing, because we tried to get them to do video last year, and other years we usually get maybe one person to do it, and we're just over it. So we're trying to conform to the way that we can work with them to make it make sense. And so at that September board meeting, we got them to write down whatever their thoughts were around our Giving Tuesday theme so that we could use it and have our media and different content that we would need for Giving Tuesday. And so that happened in September. And so then in October, what did we do for Giving Tuesday in October? I know we did something. Oh, actually, we didn't really do anything else for Giving Tuesday in October. So we were preparing other things for that. Like I said, we participate in that Season of Giving newspaper. And so there are a few things that we need to create for that. And then we were working on our year-end appeal. We outsource our year-end appeal. I know a lot of people do it in-house, and I've been at organizations that have done it both ways. But for us, we do it in-house, and they have a schedule that they have to keep. So they have other people waiting that want to be in line. So they like tell us, like, we need to get it to you by this day. What day do you want it out? So that we don't miss out on our time frame. We have to make sure that we get that. So October, we're pretty much done with, we're not working on Giving Tuesday during that time because we have other things to do. But then when we come back into November, we start, our communications coordinator has already uploaded, probably in October, she's uploaded the content that we have for Giving Tuesday into Meta so that it can go out on the schedule that we want. And so our first Giving Tuesday appeal message goes out on the 1st of November. It's not really, it's kind of a save the date, but we don't say save the date. It's just kind of like Giving Tuesday is December, whatever, something like that. And then we have this is out of order too, just so you know, this is just random stuff in here that we know. We set a Giving Tuesday goal so that we can try to use a meter if we want to have any sort of meter. And we also have a Giving Tuesday webpage also that we put up so that it's a way for us to track our Giving Tuesday donations. So any donations that come to us on Giving Tuesday, and or if they gave through the Giving Tuesday link, then we know that their intention was to give for Giving Tuesday. And so in September, we send our, in September, no, I think I missed it on here. We have an electronic newsletter that we send monthly, and our Giving Tuesday message goes out into that newsletter to let everyone know that Giving Tuesday is coming up. And then I should have on here somewhere, this is back up in October. Create the communication schedule. I'm so sorry. So the communication schedule is when we decide what days we're going to drop our Giving Tuesday messages, and then how we're going to stag that. And so we do like a ramp up. So I lied. This create communication schedule is what we do in October. And when we're creating that communication schedule, we're doing an on-ramp for Giving Tuesday. So we're preparing that so we know on the first 2 weeks of the month of November, we do one message per week, and we decide which day we think is going to get the most feedback, most people are going to see it. And we also send in our newsletter in November our Giving Tuesday coming up message to let people know. And then we do 2 messages the last 2 weeks of November. We do 2 messages per week. And this is on social media. We don't email our donors that frequently. This is all on social media. And then we do messages every day that week before Giving Tuesday, all the way on to Giving Tuesday. We're sending multiple messages per day on the day of. Usually we do about 6 messages that day on the actual day of Giving Tuesday. This year we had hoped to incorporate SMS messaging, but we didn't get it on time. There's some like time frame where you need to wait until you can have approval because people need to actually sign up for your text messages to be able to text them, but it will be a part of our plan next year. And just so you know, when we do our SMS messaging for Giving Tuesday, our audience will be persons that are 55 and under for receiving those messages. And then in December, we send our thank you email on the Friday after Giving Tuesday with the results. We post it all on social media, so that gives the development coordinator some time to compile the results of what came in for Giving Tuesday. It's probably not 100% right because we do still receive checks, and so we do get some checks in the mail that people have identified for Giving Tuesday. But by that Friday at the end of Giving Tuesday, while people are still in the mindset, we want to give them a preliminary number with that. And then in December, these are, because this is all a part of our end of year appeal, I then have my development coordinator to create some report outs that I can report to our board and to the senior leadership staff here. And we look at the dollars that we raised. We want to see how many new donors we got and how much that money was, recaptured donors and how much that was, and major donors and what that looks like. And we kind of scrutinize that to see who we should follow up with on a more personal basis, if we need to reach them in person, if they need a phone call from our CEO or who that should be. And so this is kind of where we start. So we start right in the summer for us. And so this I'll share with you. This is, and I will make this larger if I can. So because I said our board members, if we send them emails and ask us to give us feedback, it will take phone calls and text messages and multiple of them to get the information back. So this is what I gave to them during the board meeting. So it says Giving Tuesday 2024, and it's giving, and then you choose the adjective. So we know that Deborah's Place is so much more than a place, but many people view us only as housing. This Giving Tuesday, we want you to help us spread the word about everything you give when you give to Deborah's Place. And so to help advance this process, the communications coordinator led us all on staff into giving different adjectives that the board could use when they're describing what it's giving for them. So what does Deborah's Place give that speaks to you? And then we asked them to pick a word. They could pick one of these words or they could use their own word. But we made this so that they could help advance the process. And then they wrote what they felt like giving to Deborah's Place means to them. And this is the outcome of one of those posts. So this is what our social media campaign looks like for Deborah's Place. This is one of our board members, MJ. And so because they did the writing down, our wonderful communications coordinator decided to use their handwriting, which I thought was great. I was like, oh my goodness, you wanted something with that. So MJ said, it's giving love. Deborah's Place staff is so committed to making the personal experience of each resident as positive as it can be. This is extending real kindness and love to so many people in the community. And this is MJ volunteering at our conservatory apartments when it opened a few months ago, helping to make the beds. And so you'll see several of these on our social media from our board members. And I believe it leads to our webpage somewhere. Yes, it leads to our Giving Tuesday webpage. And so this is the Giving Tuesday. And this is one of our participants when she moved into conservatory apartments, and she was given a key. And so we've gotten wow, I didn't even know that. We've gotten $11,000 so far for our Giving Tuesday campaign, because we start Giving Tuesday early. As soon as we put out the messages, if you give, then that's where you give. And so, yeah, and so this is what our page looks like for Giving Tuesday. And these are just some of the other messages that you will see on social media that are also on our webpage for Giving Tuesday. All right, so I'm gonna share this with you. So this is one of the emails that we are sending. And so this is going out, I believe, I don't know. I think it's going out on the 1st. I think that's when we have this scheduled for. So this is a email message for Giving Tuesday. And so you see how there's like a design with the words in here to make it more appealing, something that people might be more likely to look at. So Deborah's Place gives more than just housing. Every day, Deborah's Place is giving hope, resources, community, sisterhood, stability, and love. And on Giving Tuesday, you have the chance to change your community for the better by giving with us. Our generosity and action make more of an impact together. That's why every year millions of people give back to their community on Giving Tuesday. This year, our goal is to channel this goodwill to raise $15,000 for our mission. Will you join us? B. Audrey.
I was just wondering, is this what you're saying, that y'all outsource the people to write out for y'all? Like, who creates
No.
this stuff on y'all website? Like, who do all this designing and stuff?
Our communications coordinator.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what we outsource is the mailing of our year-end appeal, but we send them like our letter, our designs, and then they package it together and mail it. So they do the printing and they mail it, what we send to them. So, and so we try to put more ways on here than just giving money. So make a donation.
But I feel like the person who design y'all, who keep y'all website up, because it looks really good. I mean, to see like handwritten notes on there like that really move people. It looks really good.
Thank you. And I will be happy to tell her that, because let me tell you, our communications coordinator is the bomb. This is her first job in this arena, I like saw her resume and thought she was fabulous. My CEO said she wants to be an actor. I don't think this is going to be a good fit. I was like, but look at the quality of her work. She's amazing. And she's been with me for 2 years. And I dread the day that she leaves, because I know that we are never going to be at this level with someone else, because I could never pull all this off by myself and doing my job. And she is fabulous. And I will let her know that, it looks really good. And she's come a long way. Like, she's improved every year. My entire team, they get better, and I give them a lot of autonomy to express what they want. And, as long as it's on mission and it looks good, then we can go with it. So thank you for that, Audrey. I will be sure to let Erin know. Yeah, so that's how we do our Giving Tuesday. Do you all have any questions? I see Barbara, you got a hand up.
Yes, everything looks so amazing. You are doing an awesome job. I wanted to ask, in terms of your donate button, do you know if you all use the bank that you bank at and pay the fees for that access, or another platform?
So we use Stripe. Our giving is through Stripe, but we have a lot of ways that we receive money, but all of our money, most of the time it goes through Stripe and it goes to our bank. But we do have accounts with PayPal to go to our bank, and Venmo. So we do use a lot, and we have connected our main bank. But on this page, this goes through Stripe.
Okay,
What
thank
was
you.
that word, Christy? Or can you spell it, or is it an acronym, or what?
Well, what's that?
You said Stripe or Stripe?
Stripes, STRIPE. They're a provider, like you can use that for your small business. They will take care of payments and charge. So we do have a fee that's on here, and I don't know why this is not showing. I'm gonna have to ask her about this, because usually there is more to here. But there's a part here where it says, would you like to pay the fee, so that your $50 donation is a full $50, and then you want to pay like the $2 for it. Sharon, did you have another question, or Barbara?
Yeah, I actually I have, your presentation. I have a number of questions, so I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum so I don't hog up all the time. but you have a communication specialist,
Coordinator,
correct?
yeah.
A coordinator, I'm sorry, coordinator. Now, and you also have a giving tab on your website. Okay. Does this individual take care of that as well, or solely your communication coordinator?
The communications coordinator does this.
So in essence, she's a computer person.
She has become a computer person since she's been here. I really brought her in because of her ability to write and to design.
Okay. Okay. So then my question is, where are you hiring from, and what is this individual's job description? I'm sure you put a job description out there when you were looking for somebody to fill this role.
Yes, I did. So it's somewhere on my computer with this job description, but it was someone that could maintain, I think it was like maintain a website, which we used, I can't think of the name of it, but they had some experience using it. And they had experience using several of these things, but it was all very limited. But we have lots of trainings, like all the things that we use, all for training. And I certainly encourage the training and forward those emails of like, look at this training. I want us to be able to do this on our website. So I need you to do this training because I need you to know how to do that. And so that's usually how it goes.
Is this in-house training, Christy?
Yes. Well, you know how like Canva or Constant Contact, they want you to be able to use their product. So they offer online training and so I may even find things on YouTube because a lot of them have YouTube pages that will show you what you need to do. And so I'll see these things and I'll be like, we should be able to do this. And I'm like, this is what I want on this page. I need you to learn how to do this so that we can get this done. So it's been building blocks, which is why I say I'm sorry for the day when she's no longer here because I'm gonna have to build those blocks with someone else.
Person.
Yeah, but I will take it while I have it. So
right. Now, where did you advertise? I mean, there was a platform where you listed these job openings and who you were looking for.
So we also have a HR director, and they advertised, and I received a lot, like a ton, probably like 100 people that wanted to apply for this job.
Wow.
And the initial round that I had people, I'll be honest, I had people with a lot of outdated talent. They were very big on PR and some of these other things, but as far as like technicalities and using a lot of the technologies and the social media, different things, they didn't have it. I wound up hiring someone for that against my own better judgment, and it did not work out. And I wound up having to let that person go just before my first year here when we were going into the end of year, and I wound up having to do all the things. But like I said, we made $400,000 that year, so I will not complain. But then when I brought in, and so then it actually took months for me to find someone else. But when I saw it, I had to convince my CEO that this person was who we needed, because they're very much like, if your trajectory is not been nonprofit, if it's not been communication, if you have experience, like she was kind of like very old school about that kind of thing and about like loyalty. And she didn't think that I should interview the person, but the woman sent in like some samples that she had did, and I can see that there was like some beginning talents of different things. And so yeah, I bought a camera so that she could take pictures, and like she's gotten even better with pictures. So we put a lot of investment into her, so she didn't come in with like every single thing, but the tenacity was there. And so yeah, we're doing it.
Okay, you mentioned something about her being, and this is my last question. You
Mhm.
mentioned something about her being an excellent writer. So
Yes.
did you have her submit something in writing, or was that part of her resume, or what?
No, I had her to submit samples. So for whatever reason, Deborah's Place was not asking any of the communications people to submit samples of designs and of writing. And so that I was like, can we ask for this? Because they weren't asking. And so that really changed the game. And I had people to send something. I was looking on LinkedIn from people because I wasn't getting what I wanted in these interviews. And I had a young woman to come in an interview that I found on LinkedIn. And then Aaron walked in and Aaron was, like much better. And so I was like, okay, this is who I want. And yeah, she's been great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Audrey, you have another question?
Not really a question, but I mean, you probably are a good boss because a lot of companies don't do all that, like help people foster those skills. They just throw you in and be like, hey, do it. Wow.
You
That's
know,
good to hear though. Being
yeah,
in not-for-profits, they just throw you in. Either you're gonna sink or swim.
you know what? There's some of that too, but I try to give all of my staff, anyone new that I bring in, even the interns that I work with, I try to give everyone the first 2 weeks to go through all of a lot of the trainings and everything that are offered through the programs that we have. I meet with my staff weekly, so my entire team, I meet with them individually weekly for 30 minutes, and as a full team, we meet once a month. Um, so yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. But I give everyone 2 weeks to really try to get ready for the different stuff so that they don't feel like they're being just kind of tossed in there. So, Barbara, you got another question? Or
Yes, I have one more question.
Mhm.
What website hosting platform do you use, and do you feel that it's efficient for all that you're doing?
Yeah, I think what is our website? I cannot think of.
It looked like GoDaddy.
No, it's WP. What's that word?
Oh,
WordPress,
WordPress.
WordPress. Yes.
the paid version, correct?
I think I don't remember paying a bill for WordPress. I'll be honest. I know Fiat is kind of like this servicer that we use to help us if we have problems with WordPress, and we pay them $100 a month. But I've never gotten a bill directly from WordPress.
Wow, that's awesome then if you're using the free version. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And then Fiat, is that FIOT?
FIAT.
AT, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
we pay for like 2 hours of support if we need it monthly. So if something happens, like there were some things that are behind the scenes in our webpage that kind of like went away, and we couldn't understand why nor get them back. And so we wound up reaching out to CI, and they said that there was some sort of update that happened and it didn't return all of the different functions behind the scene. But we already paid for 2 hours every month, so it wasn't anything.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Any other questions? Oh. All right, so yeah, so that's our Giving Tuesday campaign. All I can say is, and this is me because I will tell you all, I am very, I have a lot of anxiety, and I don't like people to waste my time. And so I try not to waste other people's time. So I'm like super laid back and chill. But if you start to waste my time, then I'm like, okay, you wasted my time. I got to move on because I have high expectations and I take on a lot, and I, put timelines, as you can see from me having this right here. Like I put timelines and I'm like, this is what you do, so you do your part. And I like to work with people that are ambitious and can do things on their own, but we meet, like I said, weekly. So there's still like a guiding process to make sure that no one's like going rogue or off the way. But I always just say start early, because when it comes, like I said, when it comes to our board, like last year we waited forever and forever, and it took phone calls and text, can you turn something in? And still only, I think 2 people turned in any sort of communication for us to use as a part of our Giving Tuesday campaign, which made my communications coordinator had to like pivot. And so then the whole team was like trying to find some more communication that we can put in for Giving Tuesday. And I don't want that. And I chastised them and I was all like, you guys, I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, as a board member, helping us to spread the word is a huge part of your job, you know, and I tell them all the time, if you're a board member that cannot meet the get financial requirements, this is your time to shine. This is when you jump in. But they still gonna do what they do. So we just was like, okay, when we have this in-person board meeting, I was like, I told my CEO, I need 15 minutes because I need them to fill this out, because I know if I do not do this right now, that I will never get this information back from them. And our communications coordinator was able to do something great with it by using their handwriting, which I absolutely love. And that wasn't a part of the initial plan. So that's that.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. We got us a 3 for here. Christy walked us through how they do a Giving Tuesday campaign and some of their fundraising. She also showed us a little bit about marketing and communications. But I think the most important lesson is lessons in leadership, right? So we definitely appreciate that. And I thank you. And if we could take ourselves off mute and give Christy a round of applause, that would be wonderful.
Great job.
Great job.
Hey,
Great
Christy.
job, Christy.
Learned a lot.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So awesome. Okay, Jess.
Hello.
I want to hear from Jess Larson.
Sure. Christy, I think you're still sharing your screen. Thanks. So I'm excited to share a little bit about what I've done with Girls in the Game for Giving Tuesday. Just to clarify, I am not on the development team any longer. I am on a different team at Girls in the Game for the last 3 years, but I did run our Giving Tuesday campaigns for several years before that. So I'll kind of share my experience and what I learned from various years running those campaigns. I think I'd reiterate what Valerie and Christy said, is that if you are on a tight timeline and you've not been doing anything for Giving Tuesday yet, I would make it as personal as possible. And by that, I mean, get your board members to share, get your supporters to share, get them to post for you, because their posts will travel a lot further through the algorithm of whatever social network you're using than your posts as an organization, because theirs will reach their friends, their family, whoever they normally talk to, whereas yours just kind of maybe go out to your supporters. And on Giving Tuesday, there's a lot of nonprofits posting, so you're really trying to break through all of that noise. One of the things that we've done in the past is create a Google Drive folder with a bunch of different posts, language and images and things like that, and send that out to our board and auxiliary board and say, hey, we expect you to post on Giving Tuesday, and like, here, you could copy and paste this language. We would love if you made it more personal and talked about what the organization means to you and why you joined, why you keep participating. But at the least, you can copy and paste and make a post and send it out and then direct them to our website. So yeah, the best results that you see are when people take the time to personalize it and say, hey, like, when I saw this organization's mission, it really struck a chord in this way and related to something in their life. That will really resonate a lot more with their family and friends. But, you know, I'm not going to say no to a copy and paste of what I wrote for you if you share that with your personal network. I would say something else that I've learned is if you have to make your ask really specific. So when we did just a general ask to support the organization, we did not see nearly as many donations as when we said, hey, we are raising funds to give to our teens who are earning scholarship money. And so if you donate today, your donation will go directly to our scholarship fund for the teens in our program. So it was very specific. It was an item. You could do, you know, a piece of equipment you're raising funds for, but if you're doing like social media fundraising, it's really helpful to have something in people's heads that they are paying towards. And so I'm actually going to share some of our posts from a previous year really quick. It might be a little slow. My computer doesn't like running Zoom and sharing my screen at the same time. So if you'll bear with me. Okay, can you see my screen?
What I see is dark, Jess. I don't know if anyone else is seeing.
Okay. I give it just a little bit more.
Okay, we can see now.
Okay, sorry. My computer hates doing, I don't know why it hates sharing the screen and running Zoom at the same time. It does not like it. So this is one of the campaigns we ran a couple years ago. So the hashtag was Her Story Starts Here, and that was the hashtag we used for all of end of year and then into our gala in February. So it was kind of like a 6-month hashtag campaign that we were using. So I did basically pictures. So things like Athlete of the Day award today, Entrepreneur of the Year award tomorrow, Invest in the Future of a Teen this Giving Tuesday. So you can see some of the other collateral that we used. Just going through different images from our programs and then tying them into that teen scholarship fund, thinking about their future, what they could use that money for in the future. And then another example from another year. If it'll load for me. Would be using quotes. So the hashtag this year was because of her. Again, we're focusing on that teen scholarship program because that's one of our easy ones to tie it to something very specific and very tangible. And this is actually PictoChart. It's very similar to Canva. We use both just because we started a PictoChart several years ago. So we have a lot of stuff built up on it and we've kind of switched over to Canva, but we haven't fully made the move over. And then let me see if it'll load one more. And then talking about like the impact of the scholarship. So like if you donate today, this is the person that it will help, and this is how it will help them. So you're tying it in very tangibly to a person. And then this was our 2020 campaign. So it was based around a playbook since we're a sports organization. So we had a lot of playbook imagery and again, pictures of teens. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So hopefully. Okay. I will say, so following up on some of the website discussion, we have used WordPress in the past, but if you're looking for a really easy tool, I would also recommend Squarespace. I moved us over from WordPress to Squarespace just because we did not have a company like Christy did. And WordPress is good if you know what you're doing and know how to code, and is a nightmare if you're like me and on Yahoo Answers trying to figure out why our website is down at 9 p.m. on a Friday. So Squarespace has been really easy for me to use. It's like a block editing system. They can also host, we actually host separately through GoDaddy, but they can also host your website and they're reasonably cheap And they have decent support. And like I said, it's very user friendly. If you know how to edit in blocks, you can figure out how to use Squarespace. So that would be my recommendation. We have in the past also gone live on Facebook for Giving Tuesday. I got some of our staff who are alum of the program to sit with me and just kind of have a conversation on Facebook Live and talk about their experiences. And we did practice that conversation ahead of time because they were nervous. So that's one thing to think about. You know, that's a really easy thing to do if you have people. I do recommend practicing ahead of time because, you know, that kind of got some of the giggles out and they were able to relax a little bit more and like had their thoughts down once we actually went live. And then I will say, so we also have a donation button directly embedded on our Facebook page and on our Instagram profile, which means we've gone through the process of verifying with Meta that we are a 501c3 nonprofit. That was definitely a process where you had to like verify your information and your 501c3 status. And they are not the easiest business to work with as far as like getting support or like hearing back from anything. But once you can verify, they will let you embed a donation button directly on your Facebook or Instagram page. And then you can also start fundraisers. So you can like basically create a fundraiser on either of those platforms. And then people, like I could go onto Girls in the Games page and say, hey, I want to start a fundraiser for this organization. So that is also something else that you could ask your folks to do on Giving Tuesday. We find it's a little bit more successful if they do it around like their birthday or like another holiday. So they are, you know, kind of, it's a little bit different than everybody who's running a fundraiser on Giving Tuesday. So one thing I did a while back was automate an email for everyone in our database who had donated and who we had birthday information for. And so then a month ahead of their birthday, they would just get an automatic email that said, hey, happy early birthday. If you're thinking about doing a Facebook donation campaign for your birthday, we'd love if you considered Girls in the Game. Here are the steps to how you would create that campaign. And that was a really easy automated thing to do that once I did it, I didn't really have to think about it. It just kind of ran on its own. There are pluses and minuses to those donations going through Facebook instead of your own payment processor. So like Christy uses Stripe, Girls in the Game uses Give Butter, which is kind of a stupid name, but we just switched to the platform. And so if you donate through our platform that's linked through our website, we get all of your information. We can follow up with you. We can see your address, your email, all of that information. If they are donating through Facebook or Instagram, we get very little. We may get your name if your name on your Facebook profile is actually your name, which for a lot of people, it's not. You know, it might be their first name and their middle name, or it might be a nickname. So it's really hard for donations that come through those online spaces to be tracked down to who they actually came from. And it's really hard to follow up and thank them. So that is definitely a negative of getting those donations through the platform. I think a positive is that Instagram and Facebook tend to like it when you use their donation platform. They will boost your posts a little bit more than if you're just linking out to your website. And people also tend to like it. It's super user friendly. They can just like, if I'm making a post for Girls in the Game, I can just go onto I can just write the post, add a donate button and link directly to them. And I don't have to think about it anymore as a user on the opposite end. So it tends to be easier for people to use. The negative again is that you lose that information to follow up and thank them. And then the last thing I would leave you with is to say, if Giving Tuesday is just not going well this year or you don't have enough time, think about another day of giving that might work best for your organization. So like for Girls in the Game, I think October 11th is International Day of the Girl. In February, there's a National Day of Girls and Women in Sports. And then March is Women's History Month. So those are all different events that people are already kind of organically talking about, that there's a lot less traffic online, that our messaging tends to break through a little bit better if we host a social media giving campaign around those days as opposed to Giving Tuesday. Yeah, question?
I have a question. Thank you for that information. You said that you use, did you say Give Butter or Give Better?
Give Butter, and they have a lot of butter puns in all of their training stuff.
Oh,
so
cool.
we just switched. We used to use Classy, and they are pretty expensive, and got more and more expensive and kind of not as advanced. So we just switched to Give Butter and we're liking it so far, but I can't like give you more than a month perspective on that platform right now.
And the other one was Squarespace?
Squarespace for your website.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if I can jump in, I have actually had experience with Give Butter. We currently use it for, I'm a member of the Chicago HBCU Alumni Choir, and we just had our fundraising event on a concert on Sunday, and we've been using Give Butter since last year. And the good thing about Give Butter, not only is it easy to use, it also is good for creating it where members of the organization or our group, we can create our own individual fundraising pages. So I can share my own unique URL to my people, and when they give, it shows that they gave through me, so it'll be a contribution under my name, and so I can have my own, like, each individual can set their own fundraising goal. It goes through the same thing. But even if they didn't have my link, if they went to to our Give Butter page, you can look up the names of the members of the organization, and you can just pick our names from there and say, I'm contributing on behalf of Deanna, and it'll all go there. And you can see like a leaderboard, and you can see all these stories. And then I can create my own page in addition to what the organization puts up, and make my own appeal. So like where Christy was saying how the board members all kind of have their own stories, I can create my own story through the Give Butter platform as my campaign to support the greater organization. So it has a lot of interactive pieces that can motivate giving in that way.
Thank you.
Jessica, I was, oh, you know what? Now I can't remember if I saw it when you were sharing or when Christy was sharing, but I saw something on, it said accreditation through the Better Business Bureau for nonprofits. That looked as if that was something that you might want to have on your page. So I'm sorry, did I see that on your?
Christy.
Pardon me?
That might have been Christy. I don't think we
Oh,
have
okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I mean, we should. If we are, I should look into that and adding that, because it makes us look official. But yeah. So I'm also gonna pop our Facebook page in the
Okay.
chat here.
Okay, awesome. And I know you're not quite finished, but it looks like Chrissy might have stepped away and she's back. Christy, there was a question, I guess, about the badge for the Better Business Bureau on your website.
Yes. So just so that badge, it actually costs money. It costs money per year. But we have an aging population that we thought would connect with us using that. So once we got the compliance and and everything, we did pay to use that badge yearly. I believe it's like $800 a year. But we think it continues to drive the traffic from our population that supports us more generously.
Yeah, I would say our donor base tends to be a little bit younger, so I don't think we would pay that money unless it was, you know, getting us something. But it does make me think, like, does Guiding Star or like anything like that have some kind of accreditation that you could put on your page as a link out?
Read
Thank
my
you,
mind,
Jess.
Jess.
Yeah.
You
Something to
read
look
my
into.
mind. I was just thinking about the Guide
Yeah.
Star profiles, and if those little badges actually help you make money. You know, that if you get more funding or people trust you more, if you have, say, platinum versus the silver or gold, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, but it would be interesting to look into and see if that's something that we could add.
I don't know either. I notice it on other websites, but I'm in the industry, but I don't know how it affects other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
They
did
kinda-
think
they
your
kinda-
Facebook. in
It
case
kind of
you want to
jumped out
see.
at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say
All
I
right,
linked our
Jess, I'm sorry.
Facebook in case you want to see the donation button, like what that looks like. It's also
Awesome.
on our Instagram. So it probably would be a little tight timeline wise to get that up if you don't have it before Giving Tuesday, but it's something that's good to add just so it's ready to go when you need it.
Mhm.
But
That
all
is
I got.
great stuff. I just noticed that you both have similar colors, right? The teal and purple. If I'm pronouncing, if I'm using the correct colors.
Yeah, ours is teal and
but
purple.
both.
Is yours
But
like light purple and purple?
We used to be teal and purple and we dropped the teal maybe 6 years ago. So we're just purple and purple now. So it's a lot of purple. Our Canva is all purple.
Okay, got it. But I love those colors. They're very soothing. Very soothing. All right. Do we have any other questions of Jess? All right,
I had one additional question I wanted to ask Jess. On your giving tab, the little portal on your website, who do you go through? Who does your agency go through?
Yeah, that directs out to Give Butter. And I think with Give Butter new, it actually, because with Classy, it used to link you out. So you actually left our website and went to classy.com to finish your
Okay.
donation. And I think with Give Butter, it stays on our website. So you stay on girlsinthegame.org to finish your
And
donation.
it goes directly into your bank account or something?
It does, yeah. So
okay.
with that, you can also set like an automatic like every Friday we want you to transfer the money over. So it goes through basically they do all of the credit card stuff, so we don't have to worry about credit card security and like.
So you just sign up for their service and they take care
Yes.
of everything else.
Well, so they give you a platform, then you go in and you can build out. When I was on development, we were using Classy, so I've not gone into Give Butter as much. But typically you can build out what's called a campaign page on your giving platform. So that could be like just a basic donation page. That could be an event page where you're buying tickets. That could be a peer-to-peer fundraising page where like a board member might go on and sign up to be a fundraiser. Then people donate through different peer-to-peer campaigns. Then that campaign looks at all the people who are under it and then puts it up towards a big campaign, but you can also see the individual pages. But that also, you do typically have to build out. They like give you the blocks and say like, okay, here's your donation button and here's like all these blocks, and you go in and customize it so it looks like yours. So that is like more block editing, similar to Squarespace if you've ever worked with that. But they take care of like the actual money part, which we don't really want to be keeping people's credit card information on file or anything like that. And they take care of like all the software behind the scenes. So we don't have to worry about any of those things.
Okay, I have a question for Jess and Christy, because we don't have one right now on our website. So with an organization that's just starting out who would like to have one on their website, who want to, and we would probably use another day other than Giving Tuesday. But is there a particular entity that you would suggest for an organization just starting out? Because some of these sound a little bit more advanced and involved than others.
Yeah. I know PayPal has some.
Okay.
I would definitely look into what like the regulations around PayPal are, because you probably also have to have a 501c3 to get donations there.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. So, I mean, what you're going to be researching is called a payment processor.
Okay.
And I would kind of start researching payment processor for beginning nonprofits. There's going to be people who've already kind of gone through and done that.
Okay.
I don't have any that come to mind, but we've been using payment processors for several years. You know, when I started at Girls in the Game, we had a payment processor already. So yeah, you're going to be, I think Barb or someone put it in the comments, you're going to be looking at what they keep from each donation, because that's how they make their money. So what percent of what are they keeping and what it costs per donation to run that payment processor. And that kind of varies depending on how much money you're bringing in, how many donations you have. Those numbers vary, and some are more advantageous than others. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Christy, did you have a suggestion?
I actually don't know of any offhand. That I would piggyback on Jess to say that you could research payment processors.
Just pay. Okay, just start out there.
Yeah, but I will say
and then
this,
just kind of vet what pops up.
Right. I will say this, that when you say that one, I'm gonna go back to what you just said when you said vet the process. So I tend to join a lot of Facebook groups. So if I'm like, I use Stripe and I've used other things, whatever it is, there's a Facebook group for it. And a lot of them are run by these, the companies themselves, and people that use them, they go back and forth on ideas. Like when we were considering using Zephy for something, I joined the Zephy group and was hearing what people had to say that were using it and got feedback that way. But I will also say this is what I was originally going to say, is that nonprofit applications is like the wild, wild west. It is open. Anyone can create any device or any application and use it, which is why you've got all these strange names like Zephy, Give Butter, and like you wouldn't know what any of this was, right? So I mean, because I've worked in corporate and things were like very like you use this or you use that and that was it. But you know, nonprofit work is like the wild, wild west. So there are probably hundreds of different ways that you can use this, and it's just a matter of finding what works best. If they're going to have a support system that you could reach out to if you need help, if they have like online training that you can use. So I would say look at what it is that you're wanting and if you can grow with them. So you may need certain things right now, but if there's an opportunity that you feel like in the future you're going to need additional things, you want to see that the payment processor can do other things. So like if you're using it on your website, but then you may also want to be able to go out into the community and charge for different things, you want to make sure that that's something that it can do also.
Thank you. Thank you both. Excellent. I appreciate you both. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is Willie. I also learning a lot here, but it occurred to me, Sharon, because of your church, and my church is much smaller than yours. And since COVID, on our website, we have an option of giving electronically a number of options. So you might want to see if your church has that, those what processors as well for people who want to give their tithing, because we have so many members who are aging and aren't able to come to the church physically. So every Sunday we're making that announcement, the various ways you can give, to go to the website or call this and do all of that. So maybe check internally with your own church first. They might already have something like that.
Okay. That's an excellent idea. All right. Thank you.
Another thing to follow up on what Christy said, one of the reasons we went with Give Butter is because they also have live event support, which means that they could run an auction, like a silent auction. They could run like a live ask, and they could run check-in and check-out for an event. So we don't have, previously we were using our donation platform, and then we were using a whole different software for our live events. And that was just like, why are we doing this 5 million different ways when we're entering data into another platform? So that was another reason why we went with Give Butter. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of, and then some of the smaller ones will not like have enough support, or they'll be maybe a little bit more difficult to use. You need to be a little bit more tech savvy to use them. So that's some of the other things. If you're not paying as much, you might see that you need someone who maybe knows their way a little bit more around technology and IT to run those platforms.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Yes, yes, yes. That is so true. Christy, why don't we let Jess hear your voice say that?
Jess, great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm amazed though
Yes.
that you guys like change platforms so regularly. Like I am so afraid to leave Razor's Edge next. Like I would
We had a
die.
really bad experience with Classy for our live event, so my
Okay.
boss was running on spite to leave, which
Okay.
yeah, you know, it was time. So I think it'll be a good move for us. But it was great to follow up all your great information as well. So thank you for setting that up.
Just want us to all take ourselves off mute and give Jess her flowers so she can hear them. Let's give her a round of applause. Yes, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Great.
much, Jess.
Awesome. Thank you.
I definitely don't feel as anxious about having to do Giving Tuesday now. I think the idea of using a different date that really lines up with our mission might be even better with less traffic. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much.
I
Yeah,
agree.
We've
I
leaned
agree.
that way more in recent years. It just works better for us. So
Yeah. So for us, Giving Tuesday is not anything in itself because there's so many people that are, you know, involved in it, which I know Jess and I have talked about before. It is hard to see it, but for us, we continue to be a part of it. Simply because some people, because it happens at the end of the year, and that's when so many people are still thinking about giving, and so we leverage that because, you know, more and more people reach out to us at this time of year to ask how they can give to us, and so we take advantage of people that do have Giving Tuesday and giving on their minds. But I absolutely agree that finding a different time of year where your organization can stand out. And I think one of the things that Jess and I talked about once was Women's History Month in March, because both of our organizations serve female and female identified people. And Women's History Month is a time where we're just going against the other female service organizations. So that like limits, you know, that sort of thing. And so we try to take advantage of that in our giving during that month also.
Okay, this is awesome. I just want to say thank you, Jess. I always learn something when I hear from you. I always learn something when I hear from Christy. I mean, you guys are not just here to absorb information, you're here to share and give and give. And you always give more than you get, in my opinion. It may not feel that way to you because, I mean, this is what you do, this is who you are. And we definitely appreciate you. Looks like Barb has a question.
Yes, I have one question for Jess. I was just looking up Give Butter, and it says that the price is free forever thanks to optional donor tips. I noticed that Zeffy says the same thing. So is it really free?
am I frozen?
We can hear you now, Jess.
Okay, sorry. It's absolutely not free. That's that if you know, if everyone covered the donation fees when they donated, then yes, it would be free, but not everyone does. Very few people do. So yeah, I would look at what they should have a pricing breakdown, or if you reach out, they'll have an actual pricing breakdown of what the actual costs are. So I think they are lower than what we were paying previously though, because of that. But they're definitely not going to be free.
Okay, so it sounds like they give an optional disclaimer asking the person if they would like to contribute toward the donation fees, and if they don't, then the company would pick up the difference.
Yep. So like if I'm donating $20, it'll be like, would you like to cover the fees so that 100% of your donation goes to Girls in the Game? If I click yes, then that will add like an extra $250 to my donation. So I'll be donating like $17.50 or $22.50 instead of $20. And then yeah, that donation would be free. However, that otherwise it would be deducted from that donation itself. So they would take that fee out of the donation amount.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, Deanna had a question, and I'm going to let her ask her question to make sure I don't get anything lost in the translation. So, Deanna, if you wouldn't mind audibly sharing the question that you just posted in chat. Was that Deanna or Alexis? Alexis, oh, that was
me.
Alexis.
It was
Yeah,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Deanna. Okay,
No,
yes, Alexis.
I wanted to ask if Jess and Christy had LinkedIn profiles and if we could add them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Jess,
I do. I
okay,
can certainly share it.
Yeah, I can share mine as well.
okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'd
Thank
love
you.
to connect. Thank you.
This is awesome. I want to say you ladies have exceeded my expectations, my wildest expectations, and I had high expectations to begin with, right? So I just want to say thank you again so much for sharing. We got some wonderful people in our midst. And Jess and Christy, would you guys mind if I shared this video? I think it's, hold on just a moment. Yeah, yeah, I think today's session was so rich. I'm wondering if you would mind if I shared the video even beyond our online community, to sharing it in, my next email blast. I don't know what your feelings are. I want to get your permission before doing that, but I think it's been so educational.
I don't have a problem with it, Valerie. You can use it.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Okay. Awesome. And then everyone else, we're here for the ride. Oh, goodness. All right. Again, thank you, ladies. Is there anyone who wants to know more about Canva? You want to open up your own account and, get a sense for how to navigate it, or is everyone left has an account? Is that correct?
We don't have one, Valerie, the South Austin Neighborhood
Okay.
Association. Is that something that
Okay.
it would be set up for the organization, not for me personally, or?
Right. Ideally, it would be for your organization. You could set it up for
Okay.
yourself as well.
Okay.
You can set up a free account for yourself, but it'll have limited functionality, and it's not so bad, right? You can still be dangerous with limited functionality. You can register as a nonprofit, but you're going to have to show that you're a nonprofit organization, show your letter of determination from the IRS. If you are not a 501c3, it's my understanding, I haven't tested it. If you're an organization with a social mission, right, but you're not a 501c3, they need to see evidence of that in your charter. So I guess in the mission statement in your charter, and then you can get a free premium account that will give you, access to all the features that will let you tailor things to your exact branding, and there are other graphics that you can get that you wouldn't be able to get, and some other functionality. But I found the paid version to be well worth it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there are just two people who need to learn Canva. Okay. All right. Now we do have time if you want to create your own Canva. What is it? You could do a post for Instagram, a post for LinkedIn, or other social media. Are the people assembled prepared to do that? Are you prepared to create your own posts?
Okay. When you say prepared, is there something
Okay.
I need, or?
What does that look like? Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously you would need access to the account, so you'll open the account on Canva, but you might need pictures, access to your mission statement, and there might be some graphic that you have to demonstrate your impact. So when I ask that question, are you prepared to do that? If you are not prepared to do that, then, we can certainly set up, a one-on-one office hour to help you through that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need to get that data together and maybe set up a one-on-one to set that account up.
Okay. So Alexis, is that you saying yes? What do you mean when you say yes?
Yes, I was prepared to make a post, or I'm able to.
Okay. Okay, so you are able. Barbara, are you prepared to make a post?
I'm not. I could always do one later. I actually have Canva. But if you all, I'm not sure if you all were gonna do it, like to share the screen, I would definitely stay on and watch, but if not, I could do it later.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was, we would each, kind of take our time, and develop one and then share it back for critique. That was the initial thought.
Okay, well, no, I'm not prepared today, but thank you.
Uh-huh. Audrey, are you prepared to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
Alexis, you said, okay, you're prepared to do it?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
have
we
you
here to
started?
5, right?
Huh?
We
Yeah, we're
here
here
to
to
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, and Alexis, you're prepared to do it.
Yes.
Do you want to do that in front of everybody, or shall we take a break? And when I say take a break, we're not leaving, but give you some time to kind of work on that. And then you come and share back what you develop for critique.
The second option. So take a break and try to, well, I do want a little guidance on exactly what we should be creating. Is it more so like a save the date look, or are we listing something that has like a lot of information about the organization, or just the mission?
And you bring up an excellent point. What you're suggesting is those sound like about 3 or 4 different pieces, different assets right there, because you can't jumble, or rather you should not jumble all of those into one, if that makes sense. You just like an Instagram post, you want to get one idea out there per post, so people can be laser focused on what it is. So it sounds to me like you need to make a series of assets, right? And maybe you could start with the first one. You said save the date. Maybe that would be a good place to start, or maybe another place you might consider starting is with your mission, as long as we can get some sort of messaging on there, get your branding, call to action, you know what I mean? And you could do that through a Facebook post. You could do it, Instagram post, whatever you're most comfortable with on Canva. And then you could, and you can bring it back, and then we can give you critique once you share it. And so you hear that, Audrey?
Yep, I heard you.
Okay. And then Christy and Jess, if you want to hang around, you can. If you've got other things that you have to do at work, we totally understand, but we definitely appreciate. Either way is fine with us. We appreciate everything that you've done for us today. Elevated the discourse.
I'm happy. Thank you so much for allowing us to share. I'm going to go ahead and hop off, but good luck to everyone. Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you again, Christy. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop
All
off as
right.
well. but I will say Canva is a fantastic tool. It's very easy to use. So
Thank you,
I
Jess.
encourage you to use it. Thank you.
All righty. And then Audrey and Alexis, they will work their magic and they will come back, right? And maybe I should see if I could pause the recording so we don't have all this dead time. But yeah, we're here till 5. How long do we have? Is it possible for, can you get something done in 30 minutes? So that would mean what, about 4:45? Is that doable?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we will reconvene at 4:45. So I'm going to pause the recording. I will be here, right? And then Audrey and Alexis, they will go and do their thing. And while they're doing their thing, perhaps I can show Willie and Sharon how to navigate with the understanding that we'll have to get together again. Does that sound okay?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that sounds fine.
All righty. Should we break it? All right. All righty. So we are back from break. I'd be really, really interested to hear from Alexis Reed and Audrey. All right, Audrey Dunford, but we are going to start with Alexis. Alexis, you want to share what you were able to come up with in the past half hour?
Yes. So I made a post that focuses on the 4 ways that people can participate in the Giving Tuesday campaign outside of giving money. 1 is volunteering your time. 2 is hosting a fundraiser. 3 is sharing on social media, and 4 is just having fun. This was actually just
You want to share?
yes.
You want to
This
share
is
your
a
screen?
prompt that is on Canva. So I probably will manipulate the 3 and 4 and see what other ways I would want them to share. But
And yeah, if you can share your screen so we can see what you're talking about, that would be wonderful.
let me see. Is it gonna allow me to do it from here? Okay. Can you see my
goodness.
screen?
Yeah. Oh, you're doing this on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
You are amazing. I am just amazed at what people can do with phones. All right, so it's sharing. It's dark though.
Okay.
Can we get to see what's going on with Canva? Look at you. Look at you. Isn't that
Okay.
cute?
All right. So, okay, what do you think of this?
I'm amazed. Is there some way you can move me out of the way? Yeah, just move me on out the way.
Let's see if I can
Yeah.
make it a little bit smaller. Oh, no,
Okay.
don't do that.
Yeah, how do we make this larger? Can we eliminate me altogether so we can just focus on
I
what
think
you
it's gonna
have?
pull me back on here if I do that.
Okay. All right, get it. All right, I get it. So let's look at it. All right, so your brand colors are purple, white, and lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, powerhouse. So you've got your branding with your logo and your colors. So there are 4 ways to participate in our Giving Tuesday campaign this year. So you can volunteer your time, you can host a fundraiser, you can share on social media, or have fun. All right. So having fun, what does that mean? How do we get more specific?
I think I might change that to maybe come to a free event or something before the end of the year, or
Hang out with us, attend an event.
because that was what was up there for the template. So those things or just from the template. I haven't manipulated anything
Got it.
from my own perspective, but that would be probably the last thing I would change it to is maybe attend an event. Just trying to jump into other things outside of giving money, just so people will be, I guess, pushed to do something versus just, oh, well, I can't give money. I'm down to my last $5. I can't give that. So there are other ways for you to help versus to just give what's in your pocket. So I thought to go that route first, and then probably push the people who I know are more dedicated to the nonprofit or more helpful to probably ask for money.
I like it.
I have a
And this is going to go on Instagram?
Yes. So my Instagram is connected to my Facebook. So anything that is on the Instagram automatically goes to Facebook. I do want to share more on LinkedIn though. I've heard that is a really good space to connect with other nonprofits and other people, other professionals who are interested in working with nonprofits.
That's true.
Alexis, a question where if you were to click on the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4, is that a link that takes them someplace else to your, to your website or something?
No. So this would just be on Instagram. To do something like that would probably be a what is that? Like a page on your website, and you would be able to do that then.
Okay.
What I like about this is it's very specific. There's nothing left to chance here, right? Don't, once you change to have fun, right? I like that. So when you write the post itself, will it kind of fill in the blanks, volunteer your time? Is there a contact that they can go to? Are there certain tasks they can do?
For
a volunteer form they could fill out.
So for the volunteer form, I probably will share a job form on our link tree for volunteers. I did have something that was I forgot what it's called. It's something with it makes like different links for you to have multiple
link tree.
It's not Linktree, it's called something else. I can't think of what it's called. I'll have to go look for it. Am I done sharing? Can I stop my broadcast?
Yeah, you can. That's beautiful, I think.
Thank you. I've had to step my game up with Canva this year.
Looks like you did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just make sure that they're okay. So you got the call to action in the visual, right? But in the caption, make sure there are specific links that people can go to. You know what I mean? So how do I sign up to be a volunteer? If I'm gonna pay money, right? Does it drive me to, some place where I can make a donation?
So should I just send them to my link tree, or should I? The other option I would have would be to fit a little QR code on there for them to scan that to go straight to a job form that could take them to
I would do both. It's been my experience that just because you have a QR code there doesn't mean that people will scan it. I just spent some money on an ad, the email blast, and it wasn't cheap either. I thought that people would use the QR code. I didn't see the URL for my nonprofit Utopia website anywhere in the email. That first blast, nobody clicked the QR code, which links to the landing page to pay me, for a workshop, right? Not one person.
You know what I be thinking when I see QR codes? If I'm on my phone, it's like, how I'm gonna scan that with my camera? Because you got to scan those with your camera.
You have to zoom.
So I be thinking like, if I'm on my phone, how I'm gonna do that? You can't do it like that. You got to take a picture of it and then it pop up. So
You know
what you
what?
saying is
You
right.
know
You
what,
gotta have that
Audrey?
link too.
Audrey, that is so true. And I'm glad you said that because I was thinking, I was thinking there was something I didn't know, or there, you know, there was some other kind of way that I just wasn't aware of, because 9 times out of 10, you are on your phone when you see
Yeah.
those.
And
And
then I
so
be
how are
thinking,
you gonna
okay,
scan it if you're actually on your phone? So I thought it was just something I didn't know how to
Mhm.
do.
no,
Yeah.
but then I be thinking, oh, when I get home, I'm just gonna go to my laptop, then scan it with my phone. But then
Right.
I never do because I'm be like, oh,
Exactly, exactly,
you know,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
it should be a way you could just click that and then the URL pop up. But I
Yes.
think in Canva,
You
it's a way for you to
you
embed
can click it
links
while your
into
phone is
that.
on the flyer. You have to zoom in, and the phone has to like register that it's centered on a QR code, and then maybe hold the QR code. I've had both experiences where I've held one and then the link will pop up for me to go to it, or do the screenshot and then you can center it on your own time versus like sitting on the because if it's on like a Instagram page, sometimes you can't really zoom in. So if you screenshot it, you can then zoom in and then go to the link. So it's different options when it's on your phone.
So
So
you,
that's how we keep doing it that way.
so on your phone, you can I'm technically, you know, not there. You can, while you're on your phone,
Mhm.
switch over to your photos to do that scanning. Is that what you're
Mhm.
saying? Okay, so you
Mhm.
just have to know that you won't lose your
Right.
phone
How would
conversation.
you do
Okay.
that again? You would screenshot it
So you
and then do what
screenshot
now?
it. So you screenshot it, and then I wonder if I could share it. Let me see.
So that's interesting. So it sounds to me, I don't know if it will be too cumbersome to put directions
I feel like
in
people
that.
ain't computer or phone savvy. That's out for them. They like,
Right, right. But I'm just
That's a
saying
lot.
if you right, because I didn't know how to do that. So I'm just wondering if after the main post, maybe you can put some directions as to how to access this or something. See, your friends are probably tech savvy. They probably know to do that.
Mhm.
My friends probably don't know to do it based on the fact that not one person clicked onto that landing page, but
Mhm.
several. I mean, got significant number of people that clicked onto my nonprofit Utopia, the regular page, and that URL wasn't even there.
Mm.
You know, that URL wasn't even in the ad, but people clicked onto my nonprofit Utopia URL rather than the URL for the landing page associated with that code.
I'm with Audrey. There should be a way, and I'm sure somebody will come up with it and make a gazillion dollars. There should be a way when, like, I'm looking at your QR right now, Valerie, to take my arrow because you know, because I'm on my phone, to take my arrow and, you know, roll it over the QR code and double click or something.
Yeah, I think you can go to just click the camera, the photo, and it'll do it. And you won't lose yourself on your phone. It'll still be on your
Okay,
phone.
so that's what Alexis was telling us.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
gonna
done
try
that
that
before.
next time. I'm gonna try it, but I don't know. It still seems crazy that I got to take a photo of it, save it to my photos, then go back and click it.
And then go back and click on it. That seems, yeah, it does seem a little redundant.
Yeah.
But when
Okay,
you're on
Alexis.
okay, go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just need to know if Alexis
Yes.
had anything else she needed to say.
Oh no. Oh no. Thank you for the advice. I definitely will be using it. And considering the QR code, I might have to make a set of instructions with the QR code. That might be a completely different post, but it might be helpful. So I think I'll probably do that.
Yeah, there's a generation gap. I think the folks that my email went to were probably my age and older, right? And I'm not saying that none of us are tech savvy, but a lot of us would not know to do that. And see, you knew instinctively to do that because that's what you do, right? You do technology. You grew up on technology. I grew up on technology too. It was just older and obsolete now.
It's not
Ooh,
obsolete. Trust me, it's not. Definitely not. I've had to learn how
okay,
to
It was a
code and
land,
everything.
it was a landline.
okay. So Willie, say what you were going to say, and then Audrey will.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so Audrey, let's workshop what you have.
Okey doke.
And Alexis, thank you so much. I didn't know about that option. I had to practice.
You're welcome.
Oh, that looks nice, Audrey. I like the way that looks.
I can't see
Fashion
the whole thing.
activism. Whoa.
You can't see it all?
I
I
just
know.
see
Oh,
the
let's see.
square.
I just see
You
the orange.
you
I
don't see the
mean,
words
just a
and the pictures?
yeah. Okay, so now I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Fashion activism is our passion.
Hmm.
What's the
Fashion
tagline
art,
underneath?
it say art to vision. Fashion art to vision
Oh,
is our passion.
Artivision.
Yeah, is our passion. And then at the bottom it say be art, be you. And then it says pound give on 12/3.
Oh, you
Oh,
might
okay. I
need
don't
to
see
change
that
your
part.
colors because I can't see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't see
I
the-
figured I probably would change the colors probably because at first I had it blue.
Uh-huh.
I have to I probably have changed some of the colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can really. So what are your colors? Every one of these colors is your color in your brand?
No, I flip a lot. At first I started just using red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I would like to have it be able to have it in different colors, like in two tones. Like when I'm making stuff with the logo on it, just have it in two tones.
Okay, I get that, but I don't know. Conventional wisdom says that you should have brand colors and stick with them with a consistency so that when people see them,
It's recognizable.
they begin
Oh.
to think of you.
Yeah, immediately. Oh, that's odd. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I got to think about that because I like color too much. That might be what it is. I got to think about some colors. Maybe I just stick with red and yellow.
Also,
Well, what that?
Valerie, would it
Yeah.
be better in terms of immediate recognition if there's more space between the B and the A? Because someone might seeing it, okay, it's one word, is she saying B or bread? I mean, I like the design. I was just wondering, it draws my attention.
Yeah, it's B-E, then it's supposed to be A-U-D. So it's B-R, 2 words.
Right. I don't get the 2 words. I immediately think it's one word. So is there, if you want to separate the E and the A so that people know, okay, we're starting again, it's 2 words.
Right.
Or maybe a different font?
Yeah, that could work too.
This,
wait, I think I got another one with a different font on it, but not with all this on here. This is just what I created for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I used a lot of, I just play around with a lot of fonts just to see stuff, like how it's gonna look and play out. Yeah.
Well, I think that one, that one was a little hard.
I liked it though. I
I
the
think
colors and everything, just the tweak it.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful and colorful, but if you can't remember, if all the letters be odd are running together, it looks like one word, and it's a word that we don't recognize, and we don't know that it's 2 words. The point of these things is, for people to remember us.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to do something that people look at and is memorable, and it will cause people to act. Right.
Yeah, I got to remember that. Don't make it too crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same problem, honestly. That's why I can spot it immediately. Too many words. For me, it's too many words. I think for you, it's too many elements.
Yeah, too
But
many
it has the
colors.
same Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm gonna try out some different fonts and see how that'll work out. But I feel like this
Alexis,
was helpful. This was really
yeah,
helpful. Yep.
oh, I'm glad.
Because
And
it's
I think
really
it
not
worked out
that
better.
difficult. But I
Right.
was
And I'm
thinking
glad.
like
Hmm.
about Christy too. Like Christy was saying that she started in July. Like that was 7 months ago, 6 months
Right.
ago. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically, you should do this not 9 years, 9 months to a year in advance. I mean, ideally, but that's not where we are now. We got 2 weeks to do this. What can you get done in 2 weeks? And you'll be amazed at what you get done in 2 weeks. I can remember long, long, long time ago when I was in college, doing some fundraisers. We didn't plan our fundraisers 9 months to a year ahead of time. We came up with the idea, we executed immediately, and we figured out a way to get momentum going within 2 to 4 weeks. And that, so you do what you can within the time that you have.
And the other thing
Right.
is what works for you. What works for you. You may have the kind of personality and be organized to the point where, if you started 2 to 3 months ahead of time, you could still reach whatever goal or whatever your intentions were.
Mhm.
But you might also have that. You might be one of those individuals who has the personality of, I'm going to start 9 months ahead of time because I want to be able to do this at this point. I want to be here at this point and there at this point and there at that point. So it depends on the individual and what they feel they can accomplish, what goals they're trying to accomplish. Because you have
Right.
different people with, type A personalities and all of that can get stuff done, snap your fingers and it's it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I ain't
I
that
think
person though.
Chrissy has a type A personality. She's
I
also
kind of
very
thought she was, but she is thorough too. And
right, right.
not only that, she asks a lot of her people who work with her, but she doesn't ask any more of anybody that she's not willing to give of herself, which is
Right, right.
Yep.
commendable.
That's key.
Very
Yeah, that's
commendable.
key.
Because somebody mentioned, how well she works with people. Was that you, Audrey?
I don't
Kind
know,
of
but she
boss
do
that
work well with people, and she do have a lot of good advice. She
Yeah.
has great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the thing is too, she's working within an institution, so she can't just do stuff, right? She needs to engage a whole bunch of stakeholders before stuff gets done. So that's probably another reason why she needs more time.
Right,
Yeah, that's the
right. That's
biggest
true.
push,
That's
Shane.
true.
Yeah,
It
but I feel
is
like
engage.
all of us got to do that. When you trying to mobilize
Yep.
people, you got to be doing
Yep.
that like every day, at least 6 hours out the day. You got to be mobilizing people, and
Yeah.
that's the hard part because at some point you be like, forget it, I'm just gonna try to do it all myself, and sometimes
Well,
it's just not feasible.
Well,
yeah,
that's
that's
where that strategic thinking and planning comes in, because when she mentioned pouncing on that board when they had to come in at a certain time and have a meeting, you could tell that she had been thinking about how to really get her board more actively engaged. And since there was going to come a time when they were going to be somewhere in person, she knew she had to get on that opportunity
Yeah.
yeah, she knew that was going to be one of the few chances she was going to have to get them engaged. So, she put some thinking into it, some strategic planning, because they had been kind of, non-committal and non-responsive.
Yep. That's a big job though.
It is.
That's a huge job.
Yeah.
all right, ladies. I have kept you 11 minutes beyond the original promise.
Right.
And I want to say thank you. I don't want to stand between hungry people and dinner time.
Thank you so much,
I-
Valerie.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Thank
thank
you very
you,
much.
Alexis.
Thanks to
Thank you
everybody.
all for, yeah, I think this was a good group. I'm hoping we got something out of it. I'm hoping we can do this, more regularly, on different topics so that we
Mhm.
all get something out of, you know, out of our membership.
I like the mix because we'd learn from each other.
Yeah.
Having Christy and what was her name?
Jess.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was great. That was great. And then, the good questions that people asked and the comments that people made
Mm-hmm.
were
And
learning
seeing-
experiences too.
And seeing real live campaigns and how stuff look.
Right. And
Yeah.
I ended up having more questions because when I was listening to Christy, she had that Excel spreadsheet, which I thought was genius that she shared with us. That was great in
Mhm.
my opinion. And the only other thing I would like to have seen, I would like to have seen her budget. Because we're still so small that I'm amazed at what kind of stuff you can put in your budget.
Yeah. Yeah. So that might be a you and Christy conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good
And
night,
Alexis,
everyone. I'm
all
sorry.
right, good night.
Good
I have a
night.
wild
And thank
child. And
and Alexis, thank you
Yes.
for opening up, being so transparent with us. We learned a
No
lot from you.
problem. Thank you. I didn't realize how much I needed it. I knew I did, but thank you. It's setting me on the right path for Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks
And to
Alexis for
really do it
sharing.
next year.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much. You all have a great night.
Okay, you too.
We
Bye-bye.
shall. You too. Okay, bye-bye.
Aiden.
All righty. Are we done?
I think so.
All right.
Audrey?
Yep, I'm good. This was helpful though. I think you gave us a leg up on Giving Tuesday just by letting us create something to look at and gave us some pointers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think what I gave you was kind of theoretical from Giving Tuesday, and then to see the geniuses at work, right? I think that was golden, and then to see, Audrey's work, and Alexis's work,
Right.
that was very helpful.
Food for thought, for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so ladies, I'm gonna share this video. I'm gonna share it with my next email blast.
Oh.
Yeah.
What video? From this meeting?
The video that we're making now. This is a recording.
Oh.
It's a pause.
Okay.
Okay, it's not. Oh, yeah, we're recording now. So I'm going to share this video out. I think the learning is too rich to just keep within a small group. Are there any objections?
I don't
If there
have
are
any.
objections,
I don't have
if
any.
there are objections, I won't do it.
I'm good.
Okay. Because who knows? I mean, you never know where this could lead. It may lead you to getting some more help.
I'm all for that.
All righty. And Sharon, I know you had and Sharon, I will follow up. You had a message about whether or not we could meet tomorrow. I gotta check my calendar.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you want to do it
In the
in the
afternoon, because I
afternoon?
think we had it scheduled for 9 o'clock.
Okay, hold on. Let me check now.
Oh.
Okay, Valerie, I'm signing off then.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye, Willie.
Bye. Everyone have a good weekend.
Okay.
You too.
Take care. Take care, y'all.
All
See
righty.
you, Audrey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. I can do 2:30 or 3. Start at 2:30 or 3.
Actually, either one of those is good for me tomorrow. Do you have a
Okay, let's
preference?
do 2:30.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, 2:30 tomorrow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, we